Happy Monday, Flosstubers. Thank you for tuning into my channel, North of the Border Stitcher. If this is your first time, I hope you enjoy it and that you will subscribe to my channel. And if you're a return subscriber, thank you for coming back, and I hope you enjoy what you see. I talk a little bit about cross-stitch, quilting, crocheting, needlepoint, whatever suits my fancy, but mostly cross-stitch and quilting projects. I have had a little bit of a short week since last week I filmed on Tuesday, and this is Monday, July 26th. So let's see, we started working on our puppy fence. It's not quite done. We have to finish the fence and put the gate in, and then he will be allowed to run around outside. He's becoming much more active for the most part. I know that he has to have doubled in size in the last 2 weeks since we got him. But he is adorable and we love him, and the cats are coming around just a little bit. They'll be in the same room with them. They might sniff him. But for the most part, he runs after them and then they hiss at him. So that's my little puppy. He's a Bichon Shih Tzu. His name is Chevy. And he's afraid to come down in the living room here, so I can't show him to you today. He's laying over there at the step. Anyway, it's hot again here in Raymond, Alberta. I was excited to hear that Canada is opening the borders to the U.S. like on August 9th. I'm American, so I can go back and forth across the border. I also have my permanent residence here in Canada. And I do have to make a trip down to the well, not the post office, but at the border storage at some point, because I did order some Santas, some Christmas Santas, basically to coincide with the years that my kids were born for the most part. And at some point I'll need to go down and pick those up. Let's see. Not much else that's been going on here. No birthdays. This past weekend was Calvin's oldest daughter and her husband's anniversary on the 24th. And the 24th was also my oldest son and his wife's anniversary. They live down in Pennsylvania. So I made some homemade peach ice cream on Saturday. It's been delicious. And we used to make that a lot down in Georgia when we'd go down there for family reunions. So I enjoyed that. Okay. Well, it's been Christmas in July, or Jolly July. So last week I showed you a fully finished. I've only been working on a couple things. This is my Prairie Schooler Songs of the Season. I'm only working on one of these. And the one I'm working is Peace on Earth, Goodwill to Men. And I am using 16 count pearl gray. All right, and so I got the words done this week. I had a boo-boo. I decided I wasn't going to change it, so that just makes it look a little more primitive, I think, when it doesn't match up exactly. So that's my Prairie Schooler, what I've been working on. I also, sorry about that, my 12 Days of Christmas on my linen, 32 count linen. I did do one of the 12 Lords of Leaping. There he is, down there at the bottom, beneath all those ladies dancing. So I'm going to work on the people a little more, and then I might go up and start on 3 French hens or something like that. So anyway, that's a long haul project. But I've been working on that a fair amount on Christmas in July. And then I had a new start. I went online and I was looking around because I know that a few people are doing the Quaker Christmas stitch along with the proper stitcher and Artie, the vintage stitcher. That's it. And I know Crisscross is doing that with them as well. And I thought, well, I'd kind of like to do something Christmassy, but I didn't want to have to do that big, huge pattern. And I actually, okay, it's backwards, went online and I found this. This is a freebie. This is called Little Quaker Christmas by Susan Aki. And this is a 2018 design that she made for Aurifil. But you can find this on the Fat Quarter Shop. And I thought, well, that's perfect because it's just, you know, it's a smaller size and allowed me to use some of my over-dyed floss. And one of my subscriber even mentioned to me this pattern, but she happened to do it like the day after I'd already found it and had started stitching on it. But I am using Noel, which looks like this. It's red and yellow and green, gold. So Noel, and I'm also using Yukon Gold for some of the gold part. And the green that I'm using is Blue Spruce. It's kind of a mess, but anyway. And here's what it looks like. I decided to use my, it's 28 count natural tin roof gingham linen. Weeks Dye Works. All right. And that is my start. I did a lot of it. And so I just used Noel on this design. Just like two strands over two. And I'm using two strands just as I pull them both out. But then this small part over here, this wreath, was two pieces, but they weren't pulled at the same time. Like they were switched around. And it gives it a much more mottled, mixed kind of look. You can see how up here you have the distinct red, yellow, greens kind of look. And this is just more a muted altogether look. So I'm kind of liking this. I like it on my gingham. And again, that is Little Quaker Christmas by Susan Aki. And if you just go on to the Fat Quarter Shop, it's in the free patterns. And I know I'm jumping around here, but I'll also show you another free pattern that she designed. This was a 2019 one, is a Little Quaker Halloween. And I know a lot of people are going to be doing the Silhowitches or some of the other Halloween. But if you wanted to do anything, this is also a little piece by Susan Aki. And they're about 80 by 100 stitches. So it's like 5 3/4 by 7 inches. It's not a really big, not a big piece by any means. So that was my new start and part of my sewing for Christmas. So just stick that all back in here. Was kind of excited to start that. I worked on that a couple evenings and I didn't really get too much else done. All right. My other whips, I do have a couple. This is my O Canada, which goes with my O Canada Stitch Along. Let's see. I did some of the C. Started working on this green part here. I didn't do a lot on that this week. I need to work on this like every day. This is O Canada by coolerdesign.com. And I enjoy this one. This is on 14 count, but it seems really large. And it's 3/1 is what this is. So it really fills in the fabric. Okay, so that's O Canada. I didn't really work on any of my other, my moon phases. I didn't work on that one this week. I did happen to find another cross stitch that I want to make for the same granddaughter. Should make it for one of the other ones, but anyway, maybe I'll do that. So those were my cross stitch works in progress. I can report to you that I do have one of my Cheryl wall designs on my long arm right now. I started working on it this morning, but the tension is giving me a little trouble today, so I just stopped. I just turned it off and thought I'll come back to you, work on you later. So, but it is on the machine, so that's progress, right? And another whip that it's a quilting whip. There's quilting at the senior center here in town like every other Monday. And so I went today and I was working on another Cheryl wall piece. I really like hers because I like the colors. Okay, this was the Sunflower Explosion. I think I showed you this the other week. This is out of her book, At Home with Country Quilts. And this is Sunflower Explosion. And today, at the quilt group, I got all the squares done. So now I just need to lay them out in different ways and see how I like them and sew them together. These are like my favorite colors, like golds, greens, burgundies, browns, fall colors. Fall is my favorite season, or autumn, whichever way you prefer to say it. And so I'll be working on that so I can hang that up. So once July is over, and July is over on Saturday. I mean, Saturday is the last day of July. So I'll be still doing my Christmas in July throughout this week. And then once August starts, then I am turning into hashtag autumn August. So I'm going to start stitching fall things in August because autumn is coming and it comes fairly quickly sometimes here in Canada. So I just wanted to show you some of the projects that I plan to either continue working on or starting during the month of August. Okay. I have this Autumn Towne by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I had started this before and did, I think, the bottom left. And so I'm going to take this back up because it's even got autumn in the name. And this is my Autumn Towne. And I forget what fabric this is. But it's nice. It's sage. It's an even weave sage. And it's the first project that I've done on that. And I love it. I'll find out what that fabric is again for next week. So I'm going to start working on my Autumn Towne again. Here's another freebie, Just a Little Autumn by Sandman Originals. And this one says it's like 50 by 50, so not quite 3.5 by 3.5. And you can go on to cyberstitchers.com. I will link that below. That's where I found this. There were a couple other ones I found. Autumn. This one too. Well, I'm kind of getting out of line here. But if you're wanting to do like another Halloween, this is another Halloween free stitch that you can get off of cyberstitches.com. This is also a Sandman original. Like I said, I'll link all these. This one comes out to be, I don't know. This one's called Quaker 31. It's a free design. And then there's another design they have. I just have the pages to it. This one's called Halloween Quaker. This one's a bit bigger. It's 90 wide by 120 high. And there's like 4 or 5 pages to it. And it's also a Halloween Quaker. It's called Halloween Quaker. And that's on cyberstitches.com. So I don't think I'll start either of these. But if you're interested in coming up with something for Halloween, you might be interested in those 2 free stitches. Other autumn and August stitches. I will probably start my Silhowitches Quaker by Teresa Kogut. Put that in my Halloween bag. And this one is the one that I showed you last week. Autumn Leaves and Pumpkins, Please. I can't show you the other side because it's got the pattern. Anyway, this is one from Cherryhillstitchery. It was just designed this year, 2021. And that one calls for 32 count 2 over 2. And I'm going to be using the same linen that I used for my 12 Days of Christmas. It's got some pretty colors in there. They've got flowers. That's this color blue and this lighter shade. So for my autumn August, I will be probably starting my autumn leaves. And then the other one that I got was the May Our Lives Be Full of Thanks and Giving. This was also a cherryhillstitchery. This one's more like a Thanksgiving. It's fall, but it's Thanksgiving because it's got pumpkins on it. So that I'm doing on a 14 count. I don't know if that's Ada fiddler cloth. So that's a little bit different color. I don't have anything on that. So I've got that in my Thanksgiving bag. One of my Thanksgiving bags. And then the other one I have is a small one that I got. This is from Bent Creek called The Thankful Owls. Thankful, Grateful, Blessed. That's just a little one. I'm going to work that on 16 count French lace. And it's only 52 wide by 59 high. And so a fair amount of the ones that I want to work on aren't just autumn, but like the owls and the one of being full of thanks and giving. These are like Thanksgiving pieces. So I'm going to start stitching on Thursday, and I'm going to have a sew along a stitch along called Thankful Thursday. So if you have any kind of project that you're working on that has to do with Thanksgiving, or being thankful through the month of August and probably September. So from August on, I'm going to be having Thankful Thursday stitches. Because here in Canada, Thanksgiving is celebrated like the second Monday of October. So Thanksgiving is almost always on American Columbus Day. And it kind of throws me for a loop every year. So that's why I want to start early on my Thankful Thursday to sew some of my Thanksgiving stitches. But every day I'll be stitching autumn August. Try to say that fast a couple times. If I want to say autumn August, no, see, that was wrong. August autumn, but I'm calling it autumn August to stitch autumn things or Halloween themed things. So that's what I have coming up for the month of August, the things that I want to stitch. Now, as far as haul, I have one piece of new haul and I have one recycled haul. My new piece is just a 16 count piece of chalkboard Ada that I got from 123 Stitch. So I'll add that to my stash. In fact, I think there's a little thankful piece that I'm gonna stitch that Priscilla and Chelsea, the crosswives, oh my goodness, the real wives of Cross-Stitch. They have something that says thankful, because I think I could put it on this. This is my repurposed haul. I have been waiting like almost a month to get this lovely metal box. Look at that. This metal box is like 7 by 8 inches. This will be perfect for any kind of small stitches that I want to just put on there with magnets. I'm excited about this. My husband's like, you are excited about a little metal box. And I'm like, yes, I am. So I look forward to putting some fun stuff on this box and being able to change it out. Okay, so I already went through a couple freebies for today. I found a bunch of stuff. So again, on Fat Quarter Shop, you can find the Susan Aki little Quaker cross stitch, like the Christmas one, and there's a Halloween one. I also found another place called freexstitch.com. Lots of stuff. There were a ton of patriotic for the US, patriotic free stitch pieces on there that you could get. And I also found it will take you to the correct site for whichever one of those free cross stitch patterns that you choose. And one of the places that it took me to was thegentleart.com. So from thegentleart.com, no, that's not this one. This is just, you can find a lot of free things. I printed out this other one. This is called Glory Be. No. Enjoy this design. Compliments of Glory Be. Ugh. All right. And it's called America. And it's America 1776. And that's a free one that came from the glorybestitch.com. But you'll find this also if you go onto freexstitch.com. So I hope to get a little bit more stitching in this week, because I'll have one extra day since I'm not filming this on Tuesday. And I don't really have any big major plans coming up. And I will get my long arm stitch done. And it's supposed to be kind of hot this week, so I'll get to stay inside, maybe enjoy a couple movies. If you have something that you enjoy watching or listening to while you stitch, feel free to make a comment and let me know what it is that you like to do. And maybe I will check that out. I also do check out a lot of other floss tubers while I stitch. So that's one way that I keep up with different people. So anyway, I hope you have a great week. Happy stitching and enjoy the day.